there! So, Donald Trump is the President-elect of the United States of America. There are petitions going around asking the Electoral College to vote for Hillary Clinton. Who knows what is going to come from them. Donald Trump is the President-elect of the United States, and it's immensely likely that he is going to become the president come January 20th, unless, someone, assassinates him, in which case Mike Pence would, I imagine, become president of the United States, which very well may be worse. So we're in an interesting position, because before the election I was absolutely terrified. And now I'm not. So here's me talking about why, as a disabled queer person, I'm not terrified. Thing number one, a lot of what Donald Trump wants to do, he can't do. People are freaking out, and all the gay couples I know of online are getting married super quickly, because they're afraid Donald Trump is going to take away gay marriage. That he can't do. The worst that will happen is the Supreme Court, if he appoints a conservative Supreme Court justice, the worst they can do is return gay marriage to being a state-decided affair instead of a federally decided affair. Which, is kind of unlikely, because it's hard to rewrite the Constitution. It's hard. It's a little more legitimate to be afraid of the repealment of the Affordable Care Act, but whatever. And it's perfectly justified to be afraid of the hate that will come from those Donald Trump has inspired. Like, I have a friend whose church was vandalized. It's a predominantly black church, and I live in a pretty liberal, pretty well-to-do part of the country. But someone spray painted Trump Nation whites only on it, along with your everyday swastika. So that's fun. And for all of you out there who are afraid, that's okay. I understand. I am here for you. I listen to you. If you need to share in the comments, this is a safe place to do so. But, Donald Trump actually has very little power himself, so it's fine to be afraid of, what other people are going to do, and it's okay to be afraid of what he'll do, but a lot of what he wants to do, he can't. Or at least a lot of what he's promised to do, he can't do. Also, look at the poinsettia. Did we name him Chad? I know my kidney's named Chad, but I think I name everything Chad. Reason number two, and more important reason why I'm not afraid, is because Trump may be president, but Jesus is king. And so I've never really fully grasped this, I think, on a heart level until now. But, it doesn't matter what Donald Trump does, because God appointed him, and, he kind of sucks, but all people kind of suck. And somehow this is working towards God's kingdom, and so I'm okay with it. And a lot of people are like, why does it matter that it's working for his kingdom? Why is that a good goal? And it's because, God's kingdom is good. In God's kingdom, everyone praises him. And a lot of people freak out at this point. I know I freaked out a lot about this. This idea that God demands praise and adoration from his people. I'm like, what the heck? But my math teacher spoke at chapel the other week, and she explained it really well. She said that God cannot find anything more worthy, more fulfilling to point our hearts toward, and he wants us to be fulfilled. So obviously, because he cares about us and wants us to be fulfilled, he's going to point us to the most fulfilling thing, which is him. He doesn't want praise because he's selfish. He wants praise. He wants praise because he's the only being or thing or whatever in the universe worthy of it. And so this being who is worthy of our praise is trying to spread his kingdom, enact his justice. And Jesus suffered the most with the crucifixion and the torture leading up to it. And what I really like about Christianity is not the hope of heaven. That's like icing on the cake. Not to say I don't like it, I really appreciate it. But that's just icing on the cake. The true... Who's texting me? The true, cakey cake is the fact that Jesus is with us in the midst of our suffering, and he understands and he is there for us. And though Christians are imperfect, the body of Christ attempts to do the same. So am I a little nervous about the election? Sure. Am I kind of worried? Absolutely. But am I terrified? No. I wouldn't even call myself frightened. I would say I'm a little nervous. The group chat and my phone fell on the floor. Where did it go? There it is. Hopefully I can still find it when I'm done filming. So, those are my thoughts. If you voted for Donald Trump, you support racism, you are complicit in racism, and you are in fact a racist. This is not meant to be an insult, this is merely information. I am also racist, because I do racist things. If you voted for Donald Trump, you are queerphobic. It's okay, I have internalized queerphobia. If you voted for him, you are misogynistic. It's okay. I'm misogynistic too. These things don't make us bad or evil. They're just things we need to overcome. And I find the best way to overcome these things, I can't really speak on racism and misogyny, but the best way to overcome queerphobia is through love and charity and kindness, which coincidentally, or maybe not, are the traits that Christianity values and ascribes to our God. I serve a God of love, and as long as loving my neighbor is not allowed, then the laws of this nation cannot harm my mission.